People worldwide, remember, check out my music. Remember, the M1, new M1 sees the land. I remember, I'm the one who said teleport. I'm the one who said comfort. I'm the one who said Amita Bar. I'm the one who said explosion. Way over the world. I remember now, this one now is I call it accurate thinking. Now, I was looking into some ways of how we been taught. I did these things before. Alright? So I going to like revive it. And they give you five senses, right? I even write a song on that. And because they tell us we have five senses. And they tell one was tasting, smelling, touching, and you know the rest. But one of the things that puzzled me, that they didn't tell us that we thinking is our senses. Understand? That is the main thing. So I start to look at the human race now and say, whoa. You didn't tell the human, so well, thinking is a part of your senses because you don't want the human to think. Because when the human start to interrogate in thinking, the human elevate in his thought. He elevate his dressing, his behavior, his writing, his creating. Because when a human start to think, he start to see things different. He start to see the country for itself. He start to see how you do things. He start to see how you operate. He start to see how you behave. Understand? That's how it is. So he don't want you to see how he really is. So he tell you thinking is not a part of your senses. And I look at the ghetto area where I'm from. I'm like, man, this is what causing all of the crime. Because another generation come and do the same thing. They shoot, they rob, they steal, they do all of the effed up things to put him in jail. Understand? So I'm saying, if you did teach me as a little child, say, child, one of your senses is thinking. You know when you were in class and they first start to teach you what tasting and smelling about, and they tell you to write a little comprehension on it? You notice they didn't tell you, so well, put what in the thinking, yeah, write one for thinking. I bet you if they teach your little children them serious, part of your senses is thinking, and to do a comprehension on your thinking, when they come a man, they're gonna know this is thinking. This is why when you tell some of them say think, they can't think. Understand? But I realize it's only what they give on to them like here. That's how advanced knowledge is. Here, this is how you should do it. Understand? But the key to everything is thinking. Put it like this. I'm in a situation right now, right? And I know this, they send people off of me, like to put me in trouble. Understand? So I'm looking to myself like, whoa, American law, he give me the self-defense law, right? He give me the financial law. He give me the hack law. He give me the civilian law. He give me the human rights law. Understand? He give me the religion law. He give me the copyright law, right? And these people they send at me, they're breaking those laws. Normally, what would happen is a person like me from an era like that would take a gun, shoot a person like that, boom, boom, and lock him up, put him in prison. Now, when I was thinking about violence, a person said to me, don't do that. The most powerful weapon is your mind. And a Rasta man said to me, yo, think, man. Understand? And when I was at Costco, one of the managers tell me, the CEO of the company that watch over the Costco company tell me, the pen is mightier than the sword. I must learn to use it wherever I go. So when I notice these are the law, I say, you know what, the best thing to do is think. But I notice he's not thinking. And a day before this video, I realized why he can't think. They teach him to think. They teach him to attack. So what I think for? I wrote the law. I said, well, this law being broken, I'm no more in slavery here, but he breaking the slavery law. I'm being discriminating right here, and this is right here. You look into it. Here it is. Now go take that and do that. Understand? So he might not look at it like right away because of the way I am. Because I teach people. Okay? If you teach the people and like the people, you're going to get killed. That's just part of it because you're not supposed to learn certain things. But I notice when I think that and give to them, it makes changes, but it also comes with another strategy attack upon my mind. So what I do, I notice they're not thinking, so I have to think for them. You notice when a baby born, the baby cannot eat or feed himself. You have to think for the baby. You have to know that you got to put feed in him. baby crying, you gotta get something and find out what happened to the baby and rock the baby to sleep. Sometimes the baby probably feeling the pain or something, but you don't know. No, but you got to do it best as possible. You might take the baby to the doctor if the baby is over crying day and night. Understand? So the key to all this, I realized what was the problem, why they were doing that. So I started to think for them. That's what it is. So if you think for them, you might go around the problem. But sometimes, if it happens sudden, the government also give you a thinking rule where they call the self-defense rule. They got the ground law rule. Understand? And I think of the ground law rule. I said, well, if you attack me, I could defend myself. Understand? But I need evidence to show that you're attacking me. But these are the rules of the country. So I use it back on them. So that shows that I am thinking. But I realize the people who do not thought was to think don't realize that I am thinking. I am using the law that protect the people, that protect the country, that protect the American system. And they think I'm crazy to do that. You understand? But then I realize is that they do not understand the capability of a thinker or an accurate thinker. Understand? If you in a situation, what most corporations do when they're in a situation, they get down on a piece of paper, they jot down on a piece of paper what's the problem, and find a man to fix it. That's how they do it. If you know the individual in a problem, you can do the same thing. You gotta figure out what's the problem. You gotta look at the loophole, because they all have a loophole. Understand? If somebody do something against you, there's a law for it. If you get up and do stab and shot, you're gonna go to prison. But if 8 men or 10 people on you, it's any means necessary. Honor their law here. I'm telling you something. It's the same thing as the thinking. So if you're in a position where 10, 20 men attacking you, you have your knife, use your knife. Understand? Use a buckle, because it's more than one of them. Honor their law, is any means necessary. Understand? If one man attacking you, honor their law, if the person punch you, punch him. If the person verbal talk, you can't touch him. And this is all come back down to me thinking. And I study, I said, well, let me study the law of attack here. Let me study the law of self-defense. And I start to look back the law. And then I'm like, this law right here said, if you attack me, it's any means necessary. If I tell your government and your government don't compel and you attack me, I am going to hurt you. Honor the law. Understand? So that means I'm thinking of an accurate thinker. I am not going to get up and do something stupid. That's going to put myself in jail. That means you have to have a plan to think in and a plan to think out. Understand? If you're on your job, you got a plan to think out, well, I'm going to buy a car this time, I'm going to buy a house this time, I'm going to save my money this time, and then I'm not going to save it at a certain time. You got to be a thinking person. You can't be a person that just lose your mind out like that. You understand? And if somebody is pointing finger at somebody, you have to be a thinker. Go do a research upon the person. Like me, if they tell you I'm cuckoo, go check up on what I do to say if I'm cuckoo. If I say something out my mouth that you don't sound right to you or you didn't learn it in school, go take up your goddamn pen and paper, use the internet and a book and check if it's like that. That's what you're thinking to know if it's like that. Because if you want to know what the person going to do, you got to look what the person done before. Understand? This is what you know the person is in an accurate mindset and the person is functioning right. Understand? So learn to think, man. It go far, man. Understand? You got to learn to see the problem and operate in a formal way. Look, if you shoot your gun there, you got to deal with the judge, the lawyer, the police. But if you get the man involved, you got to deal with something different. But you could still shot him. You could go down to the precinct and say, you have a license arm, right? A man playing with you go to the precinct and tell the precinct, say, you have a license arm. If you go beyond the license arm rule, I'm a clap him. You understand? If he violate me, I'm a shoot him. Honor the law that you give me the show. Understand? It's the same thing. Everything you have on this line, you got to learn to think. Understand? If you have a family, you want to keep it together, you got to learn to keep it together by thinking. They do not teach you how to think, so it's hard for you to look at the problem. But every problem you have to think how to solve. That's all it is. Understand? And I am not smarter than you, and you not smarter than me. We all operating on a one vibration here. My problem might be similar to your problem. You might have someone to fix it. I might have no one to fix it. You might have a financial helper. I might not have one. But one day I might have one. You might have one, but you abuse it and do not know how to use it because you're not thinking. Understand? If you got good people around you, you got to think how to keep them around. Never go against that. Understand? And this is why I say